Have you ever tried just stopping the fight with your own wounds? Not pushing them away, not cursing them, not pretending they never happened. I know it sounds strange, because all your life, people have told you, if you want to be happy, you have to forget the things that hurt you. But I did the opposite. I stopped hating my trauma, and that's when everything began to change. Part 1. I realized I was exhausted from resentment. For years, I was living in a silent war. Every time an old memory came back, I tried to put it out, like stamping on a spark before it could spread. But the harder I tried, the stronger the flames grew. I hated it so much. I hated the shaky, out-of-control feeling. I hated the sleepless nights. I hated how just one image, one sentence, could haunt me and drag me straight back into the pit. And then, when I was completely drained, it hit me. I'd been pouring all my energy into a fight that could never be won. It was not the trauma that was destroying me. It was the resentment, quietly, slowly, eating away at my mind and wearing me down. Part 2. The moment I tried a different way. One random day, while lying around mindlessly scrolling through social media, a sentence popped up and hit me like a brick. You cannot heal what you hate. I don't remember who said it or in what context, but instantly, I sat up. My first reaction was to connect it straight to my own life. For the first time in a long while, I stopped. I didn't try to push it away. I didn't try to cover it up. I just sat there, face to face with it, like running into someone from the past I've been avoiding for years. I remember clearly, it was not easy, not even close, but I stayed. And in that quiet moment, I realized something. Trauma is not an enemy. It's just a deep, stuck memory from the past, one that's been trying, all this time, to be seen by me. Part 3. The science behind not hating. According to researchers, this is called acceptance. But hold on, don't get it twisted. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree with what happened, or that you think it was okay. It simply means you acknowledge that it exists. Let me break it down. When you stop fighting it, your nervous system no longer stays stuck in constant high alert. Your amygdala, the fear center, begins to switch into cool down mode. Then comes the hippocampus, your brain's memory hub. It starts reorganizing your story, piecing things together, processing them so that your memories no longer drag you into an emotional storm every time they resurface. Pretty amazing, right? And finally, your prefrontal cortex, the executive control center, gets the space to function again. That means your thoughts become clearer, your mind steadier, and you can respond with far more calm than before. Part 4. The first feeling of living with it. And then I started noticing small changes. The old memories still showed up. You know, they didn't magically disappear. But the difference was they no longer attacked me the way they used to. Seriously. Not long ago, they came crashing in like violent storms, tearing through everything without warning. But now, they were more like gentle rain, quietly falling in the background. I didn't have to cover my ears, clench my teeth, or try to run anymore. I could stand still, listen, and just let them pass peacefully. The strange thing is, the less I hated them, the less they hurt. Part 5. Trauma is no longer a monster. Back then, every time I thought about my trauma, it felt like I was standing in front of a giant, terrifying monster. But now, it's simply a part of my story. A difficult chapter? Yes, but not the entire book. I can talk about it without feeling like I'm being dragged back into the past. I've started to see it as a strict teacher instead. One that taught me about resilience and about where my limits truly are. Part 6. And what I kind of expected. I got better. By letting go of the hate, I made space for other things. Safety, connection, and love. I allowed myself to receive help. I stopped shutting myself away and began reaching out to people who truly wanted to listen. I learned how to let my body rest without guilt or restlessness. And I noticed I was sleeping better, breathing deeper, and the smile that had been gone for so long started to shine again, simply because I no longer had to waste my energy fighting against myself. Part 7. Not everyone gets it. There are still people who keep telling me, if you accept it, you are giving up. But I know this is not giving up. This is a shift in my life's strategy. I'm not letting my trauma control me, but I'm also not pretending it never happened. I choose to take it by the hand and lead us both out of the dark. Part 8. The deepest lesson. Acceptance doesn't erase a memory. It simply changes the way you carry it. Before, it was a heavy boulder on your shoulders, making your legs want to buckle with every step. Now, it's just a small pebble in your pocket, still there, but no longer stopping you from moving forward. You can still walk fast, run, or even dance. What I mean is, you can start again. If you are exhausted from trying to forget, try allowing yourself to remember, but remember in safety. Try it, even for just one small moment. Find a place, a person, or a moment where you feel protected and held. Look at the wound and say, I see you. I don't have to love you, but I won't hate you anymore. And you might discover that, sometimes, that tiny sentence is the very first step for your brain to begin healing. I stopped hating my trauma, and what I got in return was peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from forgetting everything, but the peace of knowing I can still live well with it. If you're standing in the middle of the storm right now, remember this. You don't have to go back to who you were before. Starting today, you can become a new version of yourself, deeper, stronger, and freer. And it all begins when you stop seeing your trauma as the enemy